morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so Ate Brown is absent, so please lead us a prayer. Who will lead us a prayer, no? Princess. Okay.
Our Father who art in Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation,
Okay. So, today we are going to discuss. So, did you do your assignments by the way? The one that I asked you to do? Search about the graphic organizers. Thus, it will be our lesson for today. Okay? So, first, we are going to play a guessing game. It's like a huhulaan nila kung ano yung ipapakita ko. Okay? So, I have the jumbled words up here for your hint, and then you guess what graphic organizer will be presented. Okay? So, first, okay, you have any guess? Those are jumbled letters, and you can form the right answer using those. What do you think? An idea? What is this graphic organizer? Jumbled letters in class. Okay, so try to disorganize it once again. APM. What's the word for APM? Anong buo mong word using A, P, and M? So the answer is
concept.
okay. So there you have it. Okay, next.
May idea.
Yes. Namindot ka eh. That is the main idea of it. Next.
Sequence chart.
Yes, very good. That is a sequence chart. Yes. Next.
Chart.
Chart? Ano pa yung sa una?
Ay.
That is a
T-chart.
T-chart. Yes. That is a T-chart. Next.
Venn diagram.
Very good. That is a Venn diagram. So, you are familiar with Venn diagrams since I've been asking you to use it most of the time. So, first, before we discuss these read the guide questions, because the activity that we had is something to do with our lesson.
Number 1. What are graphic organizers? Give some example of graphic organizers and define how it is used. Why is graphic organizers important in gathering details? What graphic organizer can you use in the following text? Short story. Determine any advantage and disadvantage of using cellular phones. Collecting details in investigating.
Okay. So, those are the questions that you will answer after our discussion. Okay? So, first, I want to introduce to you what are graphic organizers. So, what do you think are graphic organizers? Please read the first definition.
Are visual and graphic displays that organize ideas and demonstrate relationships between different information and concepts.
Okay, so another definition are
Are designed to improve learning outcomes for students reviewing information.
Okay, so it is designed to improve learning using graphic displays. Okay, So, when you are organizing your ideas and you are trying to just demonstrate relationships, ganon, or any informations that you come up with when gathering data, graphic organizers is the most useful para hindi kayo masyadong magto. For example, you are trying to define or to gather data about, ano pa? Ano ba ang pwedeng mag-gather ng data? Animals. So, you are gathering data about animals. What graphic organizer are you going to use? Then, so, your focus would be animals and then, bibilugan mo yun. There will be a connecting line. What are animals? Ano nga ba ang mga animals? Dogs, then next, cats, something like that. So, the graphic organizers is used to organize your ideas. Okay? Para maganda siyang tignan. Imagine writing your data, diretso lang, linya-linya lang hanggang mapuno mo yung isang buong bond paper. So, it's disorganized. You cannot even write what is the main important and then the least important details. So when it comes to graphic organizers, just like what it is saying, organizer. It's an organizer of ideas. Okay? Or datas. Next. The first type of graphic organizer is the T-chart. Okay, so we had that in the motivation part. A T-chart, kaya siya tinawag na T-chart because its structure is like a letter T. Okay, so it's a T-chart. So in writing a T-chart, please read the definitions.
Helps organize ideas into two columns and examine two components of an object, concept, or event. Used in any content area to examine the pros and cons of something, advantage and disadvantage, or facts and opinions.
Okay, so that is the use of T-charts. So first, you can write the pros and cons. Ano ba ang pros and cons? Pros would be the positive ones, and then the cons would be the negative ones. So when you are trying to use T-chart, kung baga meron kang hindi mapag-desisyon na bagay. For example, are you going to cut your hair? Isipan mo kung puputulin mo yung buhok mo, hindi. So you can make use of T-chart. Ano nga ba yung benefits pag nagputol ako ng buhok? Tapos, ano nga ba yung hindi magandang mangyayari kapag nagputol ako ng buhok? So you write the pros and then the cons. That is how you use the T-chart. So another is, it's to use the advantage or disadvantage. For example, using of cellular phones. Sabi nga dito, example tayo yata kanina. So, cellular phones, what is the advantage of using cellular phones? You can socialize. You can study with using Google. So, pang-international yung mga ideas. What are the disadvantages? Too much exposure to mobile phones. Yun, disadvantage yun. Yun yung negative. Nandito siya sa kabila. Or ano pa, ng mga disadvantage ng pagsa-cellphone ng masyado. Sometimes it's quite addicting when it comes to using cellular phones, especially when it comes to, as I mentioned, nung nag-module kayo, hindi mawawala ang cellphone, di ba? Since you are gathering all the data from the Google or any other websites. So those are just examples in using T-charts. So ang use ng T-chart is to write the advantage and the disadvantage, or the pros and the cons. Pros, positive, and then cons is the negative. Okay? And pwede rin pala na facts and opinions. So, for example, meron kang nag-gather na data about sa yung na-disgrasya dyan sa gilid ng daan. Ganon. So, there is a fact that the victim was dinala sa hospital through an ambulance. And then, meron naman yung chismis na iniwan ng biktima doon sa gilid ng daan. So, those are just examples of facts or opinions. Okay? So, next type of T-chart. We have the next type of T-chart. Next type of graphic organizer is the
Concept map.
concept map. Okay, please read the definition.
Shows relationships between the main idea and other information. Concepts or ideas are represented in circles or boxes and are linked to related ideas with others. It includes close links to demonstrate relationships between sub-ideas in different segments of the concept map.
Okay, so that is a concept map. You have the main idea. It's like here, the example. Main idea here is the concept map. And then, it's connected to another details. What are the concept map? And then, in connection to that, from the main idea, meron na namang dugtong na isa. Ibig sabihin, ito ay sub-information. Okay? When it comes to writing an essay, we have the introduction and then the body. In the body, there are the important details. So we have the most important details, then important details, and then least important details. Parang pyramid lang yan. Okay? Pyramid na, pabaliktad, inverted pyramid. So when it comes to concept map, we have the main idea. And then yung nandito, yung unang linya na may connect mo doon, that is the main details or the most important details. And then may connect ka na naman ulit, that is the sub-informations or the next to the most important details. And then may connect ka na naman. Tapos pwede naman siyang i-connect pala dun sa kabila. That is writing a concept map. So, let's have an example. For example, you are going to tackle about, alam niyo ba ang types ng reptiles, amphibians? Reptiles, amphibians. So, in science, that is, ano ba ang tawag dun sa ganun kasi? Animals, types of animals yata yun. Amphibians, mammals, mga non-vertebrates, vertebrates. Okay? So, for example, meron tayong turtle. Turtle yung main idea natin. And then, the most important details about it. So, the turtle can swim. And then, the turtle can walk. Hindi na nakakawag ng turtle. But slowly. And then, the turtle has shell. Okay? So, ilalagay mo yun. Yun yung mga important na details about si turtle. And then, the sub-information, why can it walk? Bakit siya nakaka-walk? Because it has 4 feet. Lalagay mo 4 feet. And then, why can it swim? Because it has what? May lungs siya. Okay? Meron siyang lungs na para sa tubig. And then, dun sa last na bakit siya may shell? So, it's used as a protection and also for him or for it to be able to go underwater and then above water. So those are examples of using the concept map. Meron kang main idea, meron kang main information, then sub-information, that's pinaka-maliit na information. Okay? Hindi masyadong importante information. You are just going to connect each one by one. Okay. Next. Talad nyo na yung mga nag-investigate na mga spy, gano'n. Meron silang mga mapa-mapa na gano'n. Connect nila dito, connect nila doon, gano'n. So that is a concept mo. To use or to organize their data together. Next. The
Main idea web. Start with a central idea and branches out into related ideas and details or sub-ideas, sometimes referred to as spider or semantic maps. This type of graphic organizer is used primarily for brainstorming and generating ideas for planning or writing purposes.
Okay, so that is a main idea web. So when it comes to writing, you have the main idea again. Lagi ko sinasabi when it comes to writing essays, stories, or anything, any prose or any poetry, you have always the main idea. So when you try to gather data, okay, or you are planning or brainstorming about something, you have the main idea, dito siya sa gitna, and then you have the other details about it. Okay? So this is an example of a main idea. Ano ang pagkakaiba niya sa concept map? So when it comes to concept map, pwede mo siyang i-interconnect. So ito connected, pwede siyang connected dito, dalawang ganyan. Pwede rin na connected ito, tapos ito, connected sila, pinag-isa nila dito. So that is writing a concept map. When it comes to web, ganyan lang siya. You cannot connect this to this. You cannot connect this into this. Okay? So main idea is you gather all the information tapos ilalagay mo lang siya lahat sa ganyan. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-connect another gano'n. You have to write it again and then iisa lang yung main idea mo. Iisa lang yung pinanggagalingan ng mga informations. Okay? So that is a main idea web. It's used for brainstorming and generating ideas for planning and writing purposes. So, for example, you are going to write a draft about your essay. So, ano ang main idea na binigay sa'yo? It's about COVID-19. And then, you write COVID-19 in the center. Ano ba ang pwede kong ilagay na detalye about COVID-19? So, first, you write COVID-19 is a virus, and then, ganun lang. COVID-19 came from Wuhan, China. So, COVID-19 had a vaccine, but then it had different variants. Something like that. Okay? So, when it comes to writing a drafts or you are gathering details about writing an essay, this main idea web is very useful. So, bago ka gumawa ng essay mo, mag-compose ng essay mo, paragraphs, you can use the main idea web first para alam mo yung mga sentences na ilalagay mo sa essay mo. Okay? Next, we had the Venn diagram. Yes. So, you are all familiar with the Venn diagram. So, Venn diagram is what? It is a compare and contrast of two different groups. So, nandito tayo sa differences and then we had the similarities. Okay? Yung pagkakapareho nilalagay dito sa gitna and the difference is written right here. Okay? Kung saan hindi nag-meet yung details. Okay? So, similarities between topics are presented where a circle from one category. So, yung mga similarities, sabi ko nga, nandito lahat sa gitna. Kung saan nag-meet yung dalawang circle. Okay? So, you have been using Venn diagram since we had our lessons. Wala na tayong masyadong nangyano dyan. Next. Do you have any question about the Venn diagram, by the way? None? Okay. Let's move on to the last one. Sequence. It's called the sequence chart. No, please read the definition.
A sequence chart or flow diagram presents a series of steps or events in order. A cycle diagram is a type of sequential chart that is used to represent a sequence of stage tasks or events in a circular flow.
Okay. So, sequence. Ano ba ang sequence? Pagkakasunod-sunod. Okay? So, you are using sequence chart when you are writing or you read a story, something like that. Or you read a procedure or the process of cooking rice or making milkshake. Something like that. Ibig sabihin, when you write a sequence chart, meron tayong number 1. Ito yung gagawin mo sa number 1. Number 2. Sunod. Ano. So, in sequence chart, pwede rin tayo na bumalik siya sa pinakauna. For example, yung ano natin kanina. Ito. Okay? So, that is an example of sequence chart. Nauna to, and then. Pwede rin na bumalik siya sa una. It can be recycled. Or, pwedeng sunod-sunod hanggang sa huli, hanggang sa matapos. So, an example of sequence chart is the plot diagram. You have tried writing about it, di ba? Yung action, rising action, gano'n, climax. That is an example of a sequence chart. Sunod-sunod. Okay? At pwede din siyang magpabalik-balik. Okay? Ay, pwede siya din siyang bumalik sa pinaka-main topic. Okay? Do you have any questions about the sequence chart? None? Okay? So, it uses the sequence of stages. Sabi nga, stages. For example, you are going to write about the butterfly from, ano yun? Pupa, from egg, and then naging pupa, and then naging, anong tawag doon? Larva, and then hanggang sa naging tukul ulit, naging butterfly. That is sequence chart. Okay? So, those are the lessons that we have here. Let's go back to the guide questions. For deep understanding of what the lesson is about, let's answer the guide question. First,
What are graphic organizers?
okay, so what are graphic organizers?
Visual and graphic is to organize the idea.
Okay, yes. So it is to organize ideas. It is a graphic or visual displays to organize ideas. Okay, next question.
Give examples of graphic organizers and define how it is used.
Okay, so first, Princess, give me an example of a graphic organizer.
Main idea web.
Okay, main idea web. So how do you use a main idea web?
Start with a central and branches out related ideas.
Yes, so very good. That is, you write the central idea, main idea web. Next, Jana, what?
T-chart.
T-chart. So what's the use of T-chart?
Pros and cons or fact and opinion.
Okay, so it's used to write what are the pros and cons or the cons. Very good. So what about number 3?
Why is graphic organizers important in gathering details?
Okay, so why is it important?
Organize.
Yes, to organize. Organize the details that we have gathered. Okay? Next question.
What are graphic organizers can you use in the following text?
Okay.
Short story, determine advantage.
First one naman tayo. Sa short story. Anong graphic organizer ang pwede mong gamitin sa short story?
T-chart.
T-chart. Pwedeng T-chart kung you are going to identify the characters.
May
Pwede.
idea web.
Main idea web. Yes, pwede rin. So you have the main theme and then the other
The sequence
details.
chart.
Sequence chart. That is very good. In short story, mostly ang ginagamit ay yung sequence chart. Since plot diagram is a part of a sequence chart. Next, ano yung
Determining the advantage and disadvantage of using cellular phones.
okay,
T-chart.
T-chart. Very good. So, when you are going to write the disadvantage and advantages of cellular phones, yung T-chart ang pinaka mabuting gamitin as a graphic organizer. Last,
Writing details in events, editing,
concept map. Concept map. Very good. So, concept map yun yung pinaka may main idea siya and you can connect all the other details. Okay? Ganun ang mag-investigate. Okay. So, I think you understood our lesson. Let's move on to our activity, which is a group activity. Who will be the first group and who will be the second group? Please, check and point. Okay. So, sino lalo? Princess, what do you want? What group do you want? First or second?
Group 1.
Okay, so group 1. Here is your direction. Jana will be the second group.
With the use of graphic organizers, write the pros and cons and their significance for your studies.
Okay, next.
Make use of graphic organizer in determining the procedure
So please be guided also by our rubric in presentation.
Content.
Still highly informative, very
Very
clear
clear
and
and complete.
12
12
points
points
informative,
informative, clear and complete. 8 points informative,
incomplete.
2 points not informative and incomplete.
Relevant for 10
10
points.
points.
7 concepts are relevant and inappropriate.
Yes.
5 concepts are relevant but inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
2 points.
points
Concepts are irrelevant and inappropriate. Performance delivery for 7 points. 7 points for 1%.
7 points.
Mastery.
4 points for well but lack mastery.
2 points performs poorly and no mastery.
Preparation and time management. 8
8
points.
points. Cooperative
And
finish on time. Cooperative time.
But not finish on time.
2 points. No cooperation and not finish on time.
Okay, so that's it. Please be guided by the rubric. I will give you 10 minutes to do your activity. So, yung sa'yo, directions, make use of graphic organizer in determining the procedure on how to write in a simple essay. So, I have tackled you how to write informative essay or any simple essay, di ba? We have the introduction, and then body, and then the conclusion. So, mag-isip ka lang ng graphic organizer kung paano gagamitin mo. Alright. Next, yung sa'yo is the pros and cons of cellular phones. Ilalagay mo lang ang anong graphic organizer ang gagawin mo doon. You write the advantage and then the disadvantage of using cellular phones. Okay, I will give you 10 minutes to do so.